Hi guys, my name is Kai and I am the host of the Coral System, and today I'm going to be talking about DID and how it affects my life, and I'm going to be doing some of my makeup too because it helps me with fidgeting because I use my hands a lot. So I'm going to be using lotion on my face because it needs it. So a lot of people when they think of DID think of stuff like Sybil and Split. If you haven't seen Split, it's a movie by M. Night Shyamalan, which has a lot of harmful stereotypes in it. And Sybil is a woman who, she struggled with mental health issues, but she confessed many years later, because she was a well-known DID system, she confessed many years later that she in fact didn't have DID, and it was in fact exaggerated by many psychologists, her main therapist that she had. So she is not exactly a good reference point for the disorder, and the media plays a lot into those stereotypes, which is why it's better to ask real systems and do more helpful research from better sources on it, because it's a very complex disorder. But DID stands for Dissociative Identity Disorder, and what it means is dissociative. It's on the spectrum of a range of dissociative disorders, which cause you to zone out. If you've ever been in a car or doing something that you do every day, and then suddenly you think to yourself, I don't even remember doing this. You are on the bus going to school, or maybe in the car going to work, and you take that route every day, that you just dissociate and zone out, and then you're to your location. That's dissociation. But when it gets to the point where it's aggravating your life and becoming debilitating, that's what turns it into a disorder. And that's what you get treatment for. So dissociative and then identity is because what happens is, before a certain age, usually in childhood, if you have suffered trauma, and no trauma is too big or too small, but usually it is repeated trauma in childhood, your consciousness fragments itself. And now there's many theories as to why it does it. The most popular one is the structure of dissociation, and they believe that everyone starts off with not a full personality, and as you grow at a certain point in your childhood, those bits and pieces of your personality become a full ingrained personality. And the theory of structural dissociation is that amnesia blocks prevented us from integrating into one full personality in childhood, so we are living our lives separately. That is the most known theory right now, but still there's not a lot of research being done to kind of be for sure about it. But what it means for us is that everyone's level of dissociating, amnesia, communication is different. I personally don't have any communication, which means communication is when you have a monologue in yourself, like if you're reading a book and you hear your voice in your head reading it. Usually when you hear alters, it's that voice but in different voices and have different opinions, and there's many ways they can communicate, even passive influence, whereas I'll be going around, like I'll be cooking dinner, and then through passive influence another alter might make my body walk away and start doing something else, and I can't control it. It's them influencing me passively in the headspace, and it can get a lot. Also, our amnesia is very bad. Co-consciousness is a thing that happens when two or more, for us it's usually 2 to 3, but 2 or more alters are kind of simultaneously sharing the front. And what fronting means is one alter is doing an activity out, and then all the rest of the alters are more in the back of the headspace. Now with co-consciousness, it's 2 or more are near the front and influencing what's going on. And it can be very difficult. And I don't remember what I was saying. That's another fun DID thing, is I'll be starting to talk about things and then I'll get off track, and then when I come back I realize I don't remember what I was talking about. But it'll come to me at some point. It can make things a lot difficult. For example, my partner keeps track of my finances because my alters will go and spend money or spend my card and I won't realize it. And just finding out that you're doing stuff and not realizing it, it's scary, because when you're not diagnosed at first, you don't know why your body's doing this. You don't know why your body doesn't feel like you. You don't know, you're scared. You can't tell what's going on. Half the time you don't realize that time is missing because, like for me, I usually have amnesia of having amnesia. And what that means is that I will switch out, I will have amnesia, but my brain will put pieces of my memory together to make it seem and make me believe that I lost no time at all. So I won't even know until either hours later when I look at a clock and realize I don't remember the past 3 hours, or my partner tells me because I don't think to look at the clock. So it can be really tough. Wow, my hair is really getting in my face. So it can be tough in that sense. But we're trying to manage, you know. But it takes a lot of patience. I can do another video about like dating with it, because it can be a lot dating as a system. I have a tough time holding down a job. Now with every system it differs, because some might be very functioning, can hold a job, can do stuff in their life and not have that huge of an issue, and then other systems might not be able to work. It might really get in the way of their work a lot, and their amnesia can be really bad, not working on, having tons of issues with communication, and or covert DID and non-covert DID, which means your alters, like your alter, your switch, your DID is more obvious, and then some is more hidden. Ours is very hidden, but it does prevent us a lot. Like in work, we would work, and one of my alters has an a lot of them have accents actually, and it would get in the way of our work. We would forget things constantly. It could get dangerous because we didn't know if we'd wander off in the middle of our shift. It was a struggle, but I mean, there's also good aspects of it too. We're gonna do more of our story of misdiagnoses and more about that with the DID later down the road. But there are pluses of having it. My first alter, Abby, she's 5 years old. She was our first. I'm not the original host, the original cat. She integrated with me. I'm not her, she's not me, which is tough, losing an alter, but we miss her. It's hard to talk about. We miss her. But DID is all we've ever known. Our brain and how we work is all we've ever known. And it can be challenging, especially since we have to deal with a lot of stuff like doctor's appointments. Other people have to worry about recovery from doctor's appointments if they need surgery. And we have to worry about how we're going to handle if we switch out in a doctor's office, or comforting a little who's scared. There's unique struggles that come along with it, but also it's all we've ever known, and it can be comforting at times knowing that if I'm struggling, then I know that Caden can take over and he can help me with everything going on. It helps knowing that I still have people who have my back, even when I'm feeling alone. Even if I can't hear them, I know that they're there. And it can be a lot. We're polyfragmented, and what it means is that some of our system members also broke off and have their own systems, and we have over 100 alters. You will never meet all of them. We don't even know about all of them. We know of about 30, and out of those 30, you guys will probably meet 10 of them. Who knows? If communication gets better, perhaps more. But it's tough, because DID is never like how the media makes it out to be. We aren't scary people. We aren't monstrous people that will hurt others. We're more likely to be victimized again than hurt others. We have survived tons of trauma. DID is comorbid with CPT, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. We are traumatized. We want to get through life. And it can be hard when it feels like society is against us and views us as monsters that will hurt people. No one in my system, and there are many of us, we would never hurt people. We want to protect ourselves. That's what this disorder is designed for, is to protect us. Why would we hurt another person? Now, systems vary, and I will admit it's entirely possible for someone to hurt another person. That happens to be a system. But the disorder doesn't make you hurt someone. You hurt someone. And a big part of being a system is system responsibility. We know we aren't separate people. We know that our personalities, our alters, in a perfect world, if nothing happened, would just be one person. We know that. Now, we don't want to integrate down the road because we are okay with how we are and we're learning to cope, and we're fine with that. But we know that we aren't these separate people in one body. We are fragments of one part that are coexisting and trying their best to work in a society that makes it damn hard to work in. And it's a very under-researched disorder to have. Same with OSDD. You think DID is under-researched? There are systems who have OSDD, otherwise specified dissociative disorder, who also have alters, and they get an even shorter end of the stick, because it's like no one has heard of them. We have to fight as a DID system, and OSDD systems too. We have to fight every day to prove that we even exist. Because half of the world doesn't believe that we exist, and the other half believe that we are monsters. And there are good people out there. I won't deny that. Our partner is amazing. But we also can't deny that society is really stacked up to be against us in a lot of ways. Especially since so many of us get misdiagnosed with everything in the book. everything. And it's not easy. And on my channel, I'll never pretend it is. I might have fun. I might sit here putting makeup on. I might sit here cooking dinner and cooking videos and having fun, but we're allowed to have fun. We're allowed to express ourselves and have fun and try to make the most out of life, because we spent years wrapped in trauma and manipulation. It's not only that, but trauma from the medical system as well. So we deserve to have a little fun. We deserve to go out and do makeup and share our story. And I am sorry for going off on a tangent, and honestly, right now, I don't remember what I was talking about. And I'm not going to edit this video, because I don't want to edit. Why should I edit? I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide in my life. And all I want to do with this channel is to share my story, be fun, interact with people, and if someone likes what I do, that's great. That's awesome. But I have no expectations for this channel. And if you guys ever have any questions about what it's like, or any questions about anything else, I'll probably do a live, and I'll answer like Q&As or something. But I'm never going to sugarcoat this disorder. I'm never going to sugarcoat any of my issues, because there's nothing really to sugarcoat. In order to have a disorder, any sort of disorder, in order to be diagnosed with any diagnosis, it has to cause strain on your life, and it has to cause you distress. That's what makes it a disorder. So I'm not going to sugarcoat something, because an innate part of being diagnosed is that it causes distress or some sort of strain on your life. So trying to make this and push it off as it's some fantastical disorder all about alters is just simply a lie. Because, to be perfectly honest, having alters is a symptom. Trauma is the root. Trauma is what DID is, not alters. Alters is what makes it unique. But when you get down to the root of it, what it is a child that had PTSD and real shit happened to them, no matter how big or small, and their brain needed that extra push in order to help them. And that's where I come in as an alter. All of us are alters. Even the host. There's no original. Some people believe it, we frankly don't. But we don't hone in on alters, because that's not what it's about. It's a symptom in a web of a bigger thing. And trying to focus just on alters and switching and all of that, it's commercializing a disorder that has a real impact. And that's not something we're going to do. We're not going to sugarcoat it and try to dramatize something that's affected our life so much. Because that's not education. That's not teaching people anything, you know? That's not helping anyone. If anything, it's making everything worse. Because then you have people who think that it's all about alters, and think that if they hear a voice in their head and it's a friend, then that must mean they have DID. It takes away from the root issue, and that harms not only the person themselves, who might hear about it and are uneducated about it, but it hurts us systems. Because we have to fight so hard to explain what it actually is about. So, we might switch on camera. We won't announce it, unless they want to introduce themselves, and they're welcome to. but we're not going to commercialize or dramatize on our channel because that's something you're into. Trust me, there's plenty out there that make themselves known that they do it. We aren't going to have fun thumbnails where clickbaity. That's not us. We just want to share our story about having a multitude of issues, and DID isn't who I am. I am a person who loves psychology and science and medicine. I am a person who loves to draw and read. I love reading. I can read for hours. I am a person who struggles with autism and physical disabilities. I am a person above my disorder. My disorder might affect my life, my alters might affect my life. But that's not who I am. That's only a part of me. So when you think about DID, think about that. They're a person too. And they deserve respect above anything else. But there's no harm in sitting there and asking them about it, having a conversation. We're people too. So that's mainly how it affects my life, what DID is. And I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. I love my life and I love the struggles that it comes with. But I also love the happy moments too. Like walking down the street and hearing my littles sing to themselves. Or waking up to a note from one of my alters saying that they hope I have a good day because they see I'm struggling. There are happy moments. I'll never deny that. It's nice to have them. I've lived my whole life with them. I'm also gonna deny that it's hard. And it's hard in this society. So again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I'm sorry that seem like a melancholy person. But I'm not fake. I'm honest. I'm brutally honest. Comes with having the type of brain that I have. I am brutally honest and I will never sugarcoat things and I'll never lie. And I might have a poor quality camera and I might not edit and I might not be fun to watch. That's not important to me. If one person, just one, watches this video and it helped them in some way or they related it to it in some way and they like the realism, and it's worth it to me. And it's worth it to my system. So with that, in that tangent, because I don't even remember the conversations and they flip-flop a lot, and I apologize again. It's a part of having amnesia. Feel free to drop questions below. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your guys' day, and see you later.